This may just look like a regular DBBR 101, but it is not. This. Of course you know it's the expert train. You read the title, okay? Okay, enough of the overdramatic intro. Yes, I did it. After all this time, I finally bought the expert DBBR 101. And yeah, as usual, first impression, so everything is just I'm gonna learn how to drive it. Just I didn't read any manuals or anything like that. I'm just going through it completely blind. So I did install a mod that makes it compatible with the rail driver because it's not by default. That is one thing it did. I also bought the Castle Warsburg gameplay pack, and I intend to do a run on it. But
set the reverser to neutral while we set up this cab.
See how tricky it is. That is not supposed to control that. What the? Okay, something's off. What the? The reverser is supposed to, so I'm pushing the, what the, give me a second. Alright, so I said I would have a mod that adds rail driver support. It does, but all the bindings are messed up and I don't know how to fix it, and I already spent forever trying to get this work, so we're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way with the controller.
Set the reverser to neutral while we set up this cab.
Hopefully I can get that working soon.
To indicate that this train is operational.
Alright, so let's see. So it's time to answer the question I've been eager to see.
To allow braking to be controlled
is the expert version really, how much of an upgrade is it compared to the regular version? And is it worth it? That's what I'm here to... So I'm here to finally find out after all these years. Well, it hasn't been that many years.
For this introduction, you'll be driving the train a short distance and performing passenger operations. Open the passenger doors to allow boarding.
Alright. So it still has that kind of weird window lock feature.
Close the doors before departure. The train is now ready to depart. Set the reverser to forward. This controls the direction of travel.
The sounds are definitely updated.
And prepare to depart station. Power in this locomotive is controlled by a throttle that sets the tractive effort target.
Alright, so driving it normally. I mean, I don't know what I expected, but you know, it seems pretty straightforward.
Move the throttle to the off position. Coasting is a method used to efficiently maintain speed.
Yeah, I'm not coasting.
Maintenance requirements.
We're gonna see what this thing is made of. Only expert style.
Amount of braking force by moving the brakes into the braking range.
Now, while we're doing our run around the loop, I think it's worth talking about this thing and why I was so hesitant. The reason why I was so hesitant, it's really expensive. And I thought, okay, you know, you got a couple faults and whatnot, and it's updated, bit more realistic physics, but what else is there to it? But as time has gone on, I noticed that more, and as I eventually switched to a PC, which is quite important, that a lot of mods became available for this thing. Some that added that added mostly timetable mods for other routes. And a lot of them took advantage of this train, especially with different coaches. And the big one was one that substitutes it on other routes in place for the standard 101. That's why I thought, okay, maybe I can give it a try. So, I'm giving it a try. I did some research, some reviews, and overall it seems to be very positive. So, I am here to answer that for myself and see how I like it. It is unfortunate that it's not Raildriver compatible out of the box, and for whatever reason, even though I found a mod that adds support, all the bindings were messed up, so
into the braking range.
It's unfortunate, but I'll get it figured out eventually. Now, I should probably make sure real quick yes, I do have expert mode enabled. Just double check it and make sure. So, driving it is pretty much the same, but it's mostly when it comes to setting it up. Cold starts, safety systems, all that stuff, the faults, and this thing received faults before they became a base game feature.
Nice job. The train has safely come to a stop. You can now open the doors.
Oh yeah, it also comes with the cab car too. I mean, that's definitely a bonus.
Good work. That
Okay,
concludes
those
all the
doors did
basics
not
of operating
open.
this
That was
train.
weird.
Good morning and welcome to your training on the BR101. Today I'll teach you how to set up the loco and cab car properly from a parked state.
Alright, now it's gonna get a bit more extreme.
Normally there is a checklist, but our printer went on strike again. Therefore, I'll tell you step by step what you have to do. Also, there is a PDF version you can simply download and use.
The
First,
printer's always going on
check
strike.
there are no wheel chocks or external supply cables, and an overhead line above the loco. Now you can enter cab 1 and enable battery power on the loco.
Alright, so complete cold start. Let's see how complex this is. Can't be that hard, right?
Now, sit down on the driver's seat on cab 1 and wait for the displays to boot up completely.
Oh, that's cool.
Set the reverser to neutral. When the screen's booted up, move the reverser to V and check for any already existing information or malfunctions on the screen.
Alright, let's see. Ooh, look at this engine room. That is very detailed. I like that a lot. And yeah, like, most of these do work. Alright, what is this? Sifa. That just looked like a Windows desktop. These look booted up to me. Are they not?
Use the display to check for any existing faults. If there are any, try and get rid of them before.
I don't know what those mean.
Now raise the pantograph and close the MCB.
If this is all in German, that's not going to be good. Alright, how do I get back to the main screen? Put in dark mode. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can't figure that out.
Störung.
Alright, how do I... Yeah, I have no idea what any of that means.
Release the direct brake and turn the brake valve key.
Störung.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to learn German just so I can drive this thing.
Now we start the brake check. Use the train brake to reduce brake pipe pressure to 4.2 bar and make sure the loco brakes apply. Use the C pressure gauge for this. Then you can release the brakes again.
Alright, so...
After checking pneumatic brake control, we switch to the electronic brake control by switching the ELPN selector to EL. After that, you do the same steps as in the pneumatic checkup.
Alright, get below 4 bar. Release it. Okay, I'm figuring it out.
We continue with checking the direct brake. For that, simply apply the direct brake above 2 bar. Check if the brakes are indeed applied and release them after.
I'm just gonna assume they are applied. I don't know how to check for sure.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zwangsbremsung. Störung. Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung. Störung.
Yeah, I have no idea what any of that is telling me. Alright, it's making me wait. I am waiting. Overall, I mean, the modeling looks pretty much identical to the original.
Now, the last real test on this cab, check if the horn works using the pedal. Now
Yes,
we're
it
ready to
does.
get going. Apply the direct brake so we won't roll away and release the parking brake.
Alright. Parking brake.
Power in this locomotive
That's
is
it?
controlled
I was
by a
expecting there
throttle
to be a
that sets
lot
the
more.
tractive.
I gotta switch to set. AR switches. Alright. Those are all looking good. So is the PCB just enabled by default on this. Not really sure. I still don't know how to close that screen. Just gonna be stuck in there forever. Throttle candle. I don't know what pressing that does. Maybe is that distance counter? I don't think so. Alright, let's try not to slam into this.
Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe, Türfreigabe.
Alright, inch up just a tiny bit. Alright, let's get this thing hooked up.
After coupling, you may apply a full service brake and close the train brake valve key. Now set the ZXS switch to ZWS.
This is what can
Turn off
confusing.
the signal lights, set the reverser to O and remove it.
Störung,
Alright.
Störung, 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 Störung.
This concludes our work on the loco. Next up, cab car. Walk over there and enter the cab car's cab.
Alright. This is the exciting part. Finally get to try this thing out, the cab car. Oh, okay, so I can't just press on the door. I need the door key. I like that. I like that.
First, set the tail light switch to on. After that, enter the cab and set the signal lights to headlights.
Alright. Where's the tail light switch? Oh, it's in here. Why is it in such a tiny little cabinet?
Now enable CFA by setting the cutout valve to open, and then you can sit down on the driver's seat.
Alright, CFA
Put
enabled.
in the reverser key and set it to V. Now, to check if the ZWS connection is
Same
working,
horn.
we open the MCB and lower the pantograph. After that, we rise the pantograph and close the MCB again.
Is that... Why isn't it lowering? Alright, open, lower. Maybe I have to put it in neutral. It's weird, the pantograph isn't lowering. What the... Yeah, it's just not lowering. What if I reset the physics? It's probably gonna mess everything up. Alright, it's still set to headlights. That still has the taillights. CIFA is still enabled. And the pantograph still won't lower. Hooray. I mean, that seems to be pretty self-explanatory, the rest of it. So, next tutorial. All right, so this one, I need a dedicated tutorial to turn off CIFA. That's weird, but
In this training module, you'll be learning how to turn off CIFA in the expert mode of the BR101. You might be used to just switching off the CIFA fuse. In this locomotive, you also need to enable the cut-off valve for CIFA to disconnect it from the braking system. For this, we will head into the machine room, where we will disable both.
Alright then. Wow. All of these work? That is awesome. Look at that. What do these even do? Like, what's like, I don't know what these do, but wow. Right, so who's
the braking rack you just interacted with controls all parts of the train that interact with the brake pipe. A lot of faults are often located here. Now that you've learned to disable CIFA, your next journey might be less stressful, even in expert mode. Auf Wiedersehen.
Alright, let's input some train data next.
In this training module, you'll be learning how to enter the train data in the BR101. If you look at your indicators, you can see that your train is currently in PZB mode U, indicated by the lit up 55. The max speed of the mode is 100 km per hour. To reach higher speeds, you'll need to input your train data into the computer at the back wall.
Oh, this is interesting.
On this computer, you will see multiple numbers. BRA is the brake mode, BRH is the brake power, ZL is the train length, and VMZ is the maximum speed of your consist.
This thing?
Let us start by inputting the brake power. It's calculated from given values for each vehicle in your consist. In this case, it's 180, so we input 18.
A little confusing.
Train length and maximum speed are more self-explanatory. Your train is 260 meters long and has a max speed of 200 kilometers per hour.
It's not changing at all. It's just having me press random buttons.
Lastly, we need to confirm the data by pressing Send Train Data. If the numbers stop flashing, they're accepted. Return to your seat to see the PZB mode has changed to O. The 85 is now lit up instead of the 55.
Wow, that worked.
To learn more about this topic, please consider reading the manual. This tutorial will...
That makes PCB even more evil than it already is.
In this training module, you'll be learning how to diagnose faults and handle them on a generic basis. On your left screen, a yellow ST just appeared. Your train has developed a fault. Click on ST above the screen. It appears the fuse for your wipers has blown. To get more information on how to fix this error, we need to click on the button next to it, V equals 0. This screen is in German. With the ID in the top left, you can search the manual for an English translation. In this case, it's just telling you to try to re-enable circuit breaker 71F09. Let's do that.
I need a manual I have to translate it all to English. Oh boy, that's gonna be brutal. Hopefully I don't get too many faults.
Returning to your seat, you will see the fault has disappeared. Not all faults are as easy as this to solve, but it should give you an idea on how to approach the problems. You can press the C button to return to the main screen.
That's all you need to do is press C. Yeah, I have to learn German just to drive this thing. Ooh, look at that. It's got a cutscene. That is cool.
Together with your trainer, you have taken over IC 1972 at Frankfurt am Main Hauptbahnhof on this stormy April Friday. You two are about to arrive at Fulda, from where you will continue on to Kassel-Wilhelmshöhe.
So I just have to sit and watch as we pull into Fulda. Can they not turn those wipers up any faster? It's kind of annoying me. Too much rain on the windshield. Bit of a long cutscene. There we go. Got control again. Right. First of all, how do I... Let's turn up those wipers, shall we?
AFB, AFB, AFB.
What's that thing that just appeared on the side of my screen? Also, where's the wipers? Okay, there it is. Is that seriously as fast as it goes? Alright then. I don't know what that thing on the side of my screen is. It just appeared when AFB appeared.
AFB, AFB.
Where's my computer? Also, that thing hasn't gone away. Is that even related to this game? What is going on? Where's my computer? It's not there. Why is that? I don't know what that thing is there. Hang on.
AFB, AFB.
What is this? No, it's definitely related to the game. I just have no idea. What happened to the computer? It's just like gone. Help me, I do not know what I'm doing. Okay, so it's different. Alright, at least, you know, I can
Schließvorgang eingeleitet.
Seal that. Alright. See. Got closed. Is that supposed to be open? The auxiliary compressor? I don't know. Oh god, there are more switches here. What do these even do? Oil pump. This is an electric locomotive. Why does it have oil? It's probably for lubrication. Alright, this is kind of scary. I don't think I can prepare myself for what I'm getting myself into. Yep, that's for lubrication. Alright, so... I always wondered if electric locomotives had, like, oil for lubrication, and it turns out, yes, they do. Is that supposed to be closed, right? I think. Alright. I'm just gonna start driving and see. Oh, the doors are still open. Oops. Is the AFB working? Now that screen went away. What is going on? This is... I think I'm just making this more confusing than it has to be. Okay. No, alright. Put that LZB normal operation. What happened in my computer, though? Okay, so we're in LZB mode. Oh, now the screen's back on.
AFB, AFB, AFB,
Shut that off.
AFB, AFB, AFB.
Right. It's probably just automatically engage.
Schließvorgang.
That's the sound it makes when the doors close, but the doors are already closed. Brakes are released. Why is it green? What does that mean? The tutorials did not prepare me for this. Alright. And you're supposed to be helping me through all of this. You're not saying anything. I'm just here fending for myself. Okay, we're driving. We're driving. That's a good start. That's a good start. What does that mean? I don't know. It's in German. Why don't these wipers go any faster? Okay, this is scary, but I think I'm doing alright. Do I have a fault? I already have a fault. I already have a fault. I think so. Alright. It's a code. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Wait, oh, fault simulation is off? So, why is it? Okay, enable fault. Alright, alright. Yes, I will change the fault simulation. I don't know how to do that, and why does my cursor keep disappearing? is this keep it? What is going on? I think KFB is just completely automatic. Right. It's just not letting me zoom in for some reason. Yeah, I think. I do not want it to be 21 times more frequent than normal. Please don't do that to me. How do I cancel? I do not want to. Chaos factor 1. Okay. See what happens, alright? I'm just gonna... I mean, Sifa seems to be working fine, so maybe it's lying to me. Never know. This video is gonna be all about me having a panic attack when nothing happens. Yay, paranoia. I don't know what this is. Alright, so I can... Well, there's so many people to call. At least it's got working radio. Oh, I don't hear anything coming from the radio, but that's still pretty cool. So why am I going... Was CFB enabled this whole time? It's just not appearing on the screen. So if it wasn't for the heads-up display, I'd have no idea where it would be. Because I have such 185. I have such way... Also don't have the cab car for some reason. It took no time at all for Sifa to try and throw me into emergency. Yeah, I mean, I knew this couldn't be something I could just jump into and figure out yet. I'm an idiot. I love jumping into things and figuring them out. So that's how I'm doing it. But I don't know, just practice. I'm slowly getting the hang of it. Slow acceleration. Alright, so far so good. This is a very long tunnel. Forgot like half this route is in tunnels. Ooh, look at that with the spark. That's like a perfect screenshot right there. Maybe I look... lot of sparks. Okay, why doesn't the Sifa sound play when I'm in the exterior camera? It's weird. And I don't know why the computer just isn't there. It's like a different variant or something. It's a bit more simplified. I don't know. And I already forgot how, like, going back. I figured it out. I mean, Sifa's working fine. I don't know why his screen says otherwise. Or does it say otherwise? I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing. So, yeah, I'm running out of things to talk about. I mean,
That
oh
looks
wait,
like an
never
unknown
mind.
geothermal dead spot if I've ever seen one. Those are rare, but they do happen from time to time.
Never mind.
They go away soon enough. If we are unlucky, we will have to stop at the next station, that being Pershine. Radio communication is safety critical after all.
Still a dead spot. Is there even a nearest station to stop at? Well, I guess a siding. So I guess. Alright, so my wish kind of came true, but as I was saying, I was going to talk about my thoughts so far, and I get the appeal. I think it's very in-depth, and it's just a lot of stuff to do. It's just, I feel like the tutorials could be way better. Like, it seems like a lot of it is referred to the manual and whatnot. Like, there should just be way more in-game tutorials.
See, just as I told you, it usually goes away pretty quickly. You still need to inform the signaler though, as it wasn't a known one. Go give them a call and inform them about where we had that spot.
I was really hoping there'd be some radio chatter, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like it.
Signaler Kirchheim.
Hello, train 1972 here. Reporting a
At least the
geothermal dead
scenario
spot between
has it.
Langschwarz and Kirchheim. kilometer 208 and 203 to be more exact.
But I was hoping it'd be kind of like
you
the
have
same
both want to
patch.
report that today. Alright, thank you.
That's all.
Perfect. Bye.
Bye.
But that's very cool they have it for the scenario. So, as I was saying, I think very in depth. There should be more tutorials, though. It's like very much sort of figure it out yourself. Rely on manuals and whatnot. I don't like how there's no rail driver support. Even if mods kind of fix that. I mean, that's the thing, a lot of the problems with this are fixable by mods, which is why I think it's good if you're a PC player. I mean, that way you get rail driver support, you can drive that, I mean, rail driver is PC only anyways, but also the mod that makes it substitute in for the regular 101 on most routes. So, and stuff like that should have just been included already, but at least mods fix it. However, I'd say it is very detailed. I'm not a real train driver, so I can't really speak for physics and driving field, but just going off of memory, it does feel very similar. Probably nearly identical to the original. It's mostly just sort of the fault simulations, advanced PCB, and stuff like that. I was very blown away with the engine room and how pretty much every switch in there does something that is definitely very next level, and it seems like the fault simulation is very next level, and any of those could go wrong aside from just the regular TSW6 faults where it's just like, oh, pantograph goes down, door gets stuck. So very in-depth there. You can also make it more frequent too, so I think that's good. However, I still think it's just a little too expensive. I mean, it's the same price as the entire route, which I get. A lot of work went into this, and I mean, I think Train Sim Germany is one of the best developers we have for TSW, but it's just still a little too expensive in my opinion. I think, you know, maybe make it like $10 extra or something, but just as it stands, it's just a little too much. But I still get the appeal, and you can tell a lot of effort went into this, which is why I love Train Sim Germany. They always put out great products, and I think the idea, I was also torn on the idea of expert locomotives at first, because at first I was kind of thinking, why aren't these features just available on all trains? And now that I've finally tried out an expert locomotive, I get it. I mean, it's in the name, it's supposed to be for experts, and, you know, I think it's just kind of including it as its own separate thing and make it, like, way more expensive. It's a great idea, but the execution is just, the execution isn't the best. But I think, I do like the concept though, and it would be cool to see. Well, I know Train Sim Germany is already working on another expert locomotive, the 145, which is actually one we don't have yet. I mean, I assume it's very similar to 146, but still, it is different. It would be interesting to, I don't know if any other developers would be willing to make expert locomotives. I know TS Classic had the AC4400 from TS Classic, made by Searchlight Simulations, was basically an expert locomotive for that game, kind of. Like, it had a lot of advanced features, so if Searchlight ever does start making TSW content, I feel like they could potentially give us some expert locomotives. I feel like something like an expert Jiva would be great, since it would work with a lot of routes, as long as it's compatible with the standard GEVOs and whatnot, so I feel like there's definitely a lot of potential, but it would have to be a locomotive that I think works in most a wide variety of routes, so you can get the most out of it. Overall, the scenarios, I mean, I haven't tried the ones that came with the locomotive itself. I just heard the scenarios for Castle Wurzburg, and the timetable's really good. So, I mean, I mostly play for the timetable, but already the scenario with the radio chatter and whatnot is very good. That's what more scenarios should have. Although, I'd love to see those sort of radio features implemented in timetable mode too, but overall scenarios seem very good, so I guess I'm still kind of torn on it. I mean, I think if it's just a little too expensive, and now you're probably wondering why didn't you just get it on sale? Problem is, I'm on the Microsoft Store version, and Microsoft never puts things on sale as if they aren't already filthy rich. So I think they're just very strict about sales on there. And it's just about way back when I played on the Xbox, and even though I played it on PC, it's still linked to Microsoft Store because I am not rebuying everything on Steam just so when the new DLCs come out, I can go on sale or whatever. It's just so, and sales happen, but it's only a select few DLCs, and it's always the ones I already own, so I just kind of have to bite the bullet and buy it. So, but I'm sure, as I get more used to this, I'll enjoy it. I am enjoying it, definitely. But like I said, just not much tutorials behind it. It's a lot of go figure it out yourself. I mean, I'm a very visual learner. Like, even though, yeah, you can look through the manual and tell you everything, it's so much better when the game just explains it to you. And it should. I mean, tutorials explain so much other stuff. I really strongly believe it should just be there in the game, explained to you. And even though, yes, it is supposed to be for experts, I mean, still not ever even like die-hard train sim enthusiasts, like it's still for something different. I mean, it's not like they're just gonna learn it immediately. I mean, there's gotta be some kind of tutorials to it and whatnot. So yeah, that's kind of my spiel on the Expert 101. Eventually, I'd like to do some.
Silence. That is an LCB transmission failure, probably provoked by the bad weather. Acknowledge it with PZB LCB release.
Want to slow down.
And now, based on the last data the LCB received, it gives us a safe braking curve down to 85 kilometers an hour, where we can transition to PZB. Once you are below 160 km an hour, you will have to read line-side signals again, as opposed to only trusting in-cab signaling. Even then, we need to brake down to 40 km an hour, as we were faster than 160 km an hour prior to the transmission fault. Then continue at that speed for 2 kilometers before returning to timetabled speed.
So, I mean, I'll probably have to find a short timetable just to see what it is like in timetable mode. What's the word is? Even if it's
Flashing 85 on the MFD in front of you is telling you that with another press of PZB release, you can transition to PZB and follow line sign signals. Remember to still drive 40 kilometers an hour, 42 kilometers. Do that now and then. Call the signal and inform about the failure, again with location information.
Where's my... I was gonna trigger an emergency brake.
SIFA, AFB, Huurvrijgabe, 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 AFB, AFB.
That's not what I meant to click. Uh-oh. Stop! Stop, I didn't mean to click that. So, okay, one of the faults went away, that's nice. So, even... Yeah, I do wish there was a way to put that in English. I mean, I assume in real life there isn't a way to do that, but it would be nice. Just, I mean, even if it breaks realism, just to make it a bit more accessible. Instead of having to look through a manual all the time.
We now continue following line-side signaling, but remember that the transmission failure only happened at that one point back there. If this does not turn out to be a more severe LZB issue with reoccurring failures, we can return to our usual 200 km per hour after the next LZB entry sign.
Let's see.
AFB, AFB, AFB.
Okay, for some reason AFB is just stuck at 0 kilometers an hour. I'm not sure if that's a glitch with the game or if I'm doing something wrong.
SIFA, SIFA.
Alright. I don't know what that whole emergency thing is all about. And I don't have an LZB fault, so I don't know what's going on.
SIFA.
Wait, I'm supposed to be going 40, I'm going 50. Oops. I'm supposed to have for 2 kilometers too. And since AFB doesn't want to work, I'm not sure if I set something wrong or what the reason is.
SIFA, SIFA.
Maybe quickly scroll through my vehicle. Kind of weird how the brakes, as soon as they tap it, jumps to 1B instead of 1A. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I should. I already got that sign. Or did I? No, I didn't. Alright. I think tell me I can return back.
SIFA.
Oh, I'm wheel slipping. And no way of knowing that. There's no like wheel slip indicator or anything. It's not like the brakes are. there's no wheel slip indicator, so I had no idea I was wheel slipping.
Sifa.
How do I know if I'm... Oh, if maybe like the red cone. No wonder why I was accelerating so slow. Excuse me, waiter, there's a flat spot in my wheel. Well, not just that. Excuse me, waiter, there's a wheel in my flat spot. Why am I still wheel slipping and there's no wheel slip indicator? It's just like, am I even supposed to be wheel slipping? Just like, to guess like, oh boy, I sure hope I'm not wheel slipping today. And the SIFA sound does not play when I'm in external camera. Oh wait, is that the wheel slip indicator right there? No, it's not. So where's my wheel slip indicator? I have no idea if I'm wheel slipping or not. Am I supposed to not know? How are we even wheel slipping this much anyways?
Sifa. Sifa.
Hey, I set my AFB back. I don't think that worked. I don't think it works when I'm moving. Did something just pass me or am I going crazy? Nope, I'm going crazy. And I am not slowing down. Wait, now AFB's engaging? Oh my, this is so confusing. Still no faults. See if it's still working, and I don't even know what that says. That sign can't stop me because I can't read German. My train looks on. I think the interior lights have just been off this entire time. Should put my lights on too since there are so many tunnels. Just as I'm getting to the end. It would have also been nice if they included a couple more liveries with this. I know they included 2 others, but I feel like they could have included more for the price. Now I did notice that the screen is different on this. When I was doing a training center had analog display. This was digital, so I wonder if maybe PCB is just done automatically on the digital one, and on the analog you have to do it manually. I have no idea. That's just a total guess. Don't know why the AFB is all out of whack. Still no faults.
Sifa, Sifa.
Maybe with the expert one, the AFB isn't supposed to be automatic? No, because when I'm pulling the lever back, I'd have no idea what I'm setting it to. So confusing. Must be a glitch, I don't know what else. But why am I still wheel slipping? Of course, I have no way to tell. Oh, it says it right there. That'd explain it. Alright then. I may be wrong. Kind of weird it puts it on a different screen, but whatever. And yeah, finally made it.
Höhenfreigabe, Höhenfreigabe, Höhenfreigabe. Sifa, Sifa. Störung, Störung, Störung.
Alright, only 4 minutes late. I still don't know what that screen on the right
You
is.
handled those two issues earlier well. I hope that is all the chaos done for now. The dead spot and the transmission failure were basically back to back.
It's a pretty cool station layout. Wonder with the new timetable, it's probably a lot busier. Alright, I guess it's making me part. Alright, doors are locked. At least they should be. What does that mean? I have a new fault. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Schließvorgang eingeleitet.
It did get a lot more quiet. It said like ZS or something, so hopefully it's just a blown fuse. I'm seeing blown fuses. Why is this happening right at the end? What if I just drive anyways? Will that work? Circuit breaker. Of course, this happens right at the end. Forget. I'm just gonna translate it. Using a photo translator. The coolant pressure is too low. So the main switch. Switch on. Alright, I did something. Alright, it's booting back up. Alright, we're moving again. Yeah, that can be for... I mean, this is at the end of the run, so that can just be for the next driver to deal with. Too much power. Yeah, I think it's preventing me from doing something. There's nowhere I input my...
AFB, 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 Störung, Störung, Störung.
Do I do it? I don't really know what to do. So close to completing it. What if I just reset the physics?
AFB, AFB, AFB.
I could also just turn off. How do I get to that? What if I just disable fault simulation?
Störung, Störung, Störung.
Right. Maybe it's for the best to just disable faults for now.
Störung, Störung, Störung.
Are you not starting up?
Störung, Störung, Störung.
What am I doing wrong? Alright, here we go. Yeah, maybe just because of my inability to read German, it's just best I not use the train faults. Oh wait, brake keys locked. That's why it's not moving. Alright, there we go. Might just cut that part out. I don't know. That was a lot. My taillights are on for some reason, and I am still wheel slipping. There we go. That's the... Somehow we got platinum. Alright, off to a not so good start, but not so bad start either. Now, I would like to try out the cab car and timetable. Let's see what timetables have said cab car. Preferably a quick run. maybe I'll try if fault's enabled, see if I can figure it out. If not, I'll turn it back off. Excuse me, please cut that out, editor. Me. Alright. Let's see. There's a cab car. There's a cab car. Why are there so many different areas? Just one, I guess. Alright, we are now in the cab car on Frankfurt to Fulda, and we're going to do a very quick run and see how this thing goes. Alright, unlock the doors. Break key. Alright. Why are both pantographs up? I don't think that's supposed to happen. Alright, let's see. It's a taillight cabinet. Those are already on. Headlights are on. CFA is enabled. Huh. Interesting. Everything is closed here. Right. Have that open. Okay, this is intimidating. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna throw in a bunch of numbers. Run a PCB test. I don't know if PCB is working.
Schließvorgang eingeleitet.
Yeah, I don't know where it gets trained. What happened to this guy? What the? Why does it look like that? That's it's weird. Alright, let's see. How do I get my fault screen? Alright. Let's see. I want to enable virtual conductor. What's the throttle behavior? Throttle stops in the up position to move in. Alright. Alright. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh, so it's like a tap changer? But I'm not using it. And the windshield's normal now. It's like a tap changer, but I'm not using a tap changer. PCB still isn't working. Alright, it's just a test run. Just see how this works. Alright, how do I... Alright. Alright, let's see. Throttle behavior. I'm gonna do it that way. That's better. But in the pantograph's back to normal. Alright, so far so good, I think, except for the fact that PCB isn't working. That's kind of concerning me. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to replay some tutorials again. So much stuttering. Why does the bridge do that? It's just like won't let me go into free cam. So where are my train lights? There they are. Let's throw those on. That's better. Alright. And there's still no way to tell if I'm wheel slipping or not. There's gotta be some good tutorials on YouTube. I don't know why I always think it's a good idea to just go into this blind. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. Alright, this is stopping me fast. I opened the window. Well, that's a cool window. Trying to distract me from the fact that I am doing terribly. Alright. I don't know what just happened. You know, maybe I need some more practice. I don't think I'm quite an expert yet, so maybe I should just end this here for now. I don't know. I mean, hey, at least I tried. Just gotta do some learning, teach myself. So, yeah, with that out of the way, thank you guys for watching. This was an experience. I say an experience I was not prepared for. So, I'll see you in the next experience that's hopefully I'm more prepared for. All right.